Said you're a Mexican-American.
Yes.
What do you think about Trump's border policy?
I love it. I love it. I'm 100% for it.
Do you know anybody that can cross the border without applying for green card?
Oh, yes. Unfortunately, I have family members that
Yeah.
did. Cousins, nephews, nieces.
Because those people might be deported if Donald Trump wins.
That's okay. That's okay.
How long have they been here for?
Years, like 20, some like 30 years.
And so you think that members of your own family who've been here for 30 years should be deported?
Yeah. Yes. I mean, they can be deported, but they can also apply to come back again to the United States, but do it the right way.
How do you think they would feel about you saying that?
Oh, they would be very angry. They are angry at me right now. They don't talk to me because I support Trump.
We need the wall. I live close by this area, and we need to live in a safe place. So please, we need Trump back in office. Vote for him. We need to finish this wall. We cannot afford to have more criminals coming into our area.
We know exactly how this movie is going to end. And so
Since
now,
this
here's where
wall
it gets wild.
got built,
Super
Donald
wild.
Trump
While Europe collapses
was trying to make
away
America
from
safe.
hotels, the
Now the
United
wall's
States
halfway
just
built
saw
since
a
Biden got in.
global
It's like they want the
change
criminals to
the
come
entire
in.
game
Let's
on
make America
censorship.
great, y'all. Trump Latinos.
Shocking. It came from the one
¿Cuánto por un elote, maestro? No se crean. You know, Latinos for Trump has always been so interesting to me. Latinos for Trump to me has always been like cockroaches for raid. But honestly, that would be insulting to the cockroaches' intelligence. And I would make this video in Spanish, but I don't think the people that run that page speak Spanish, ironically. But yeah, guys, very interesting. The amount of devotion that some of these Trump supporters have for another man, Trump, it's kind of weird to me. Like, men obsessing about Trump is very interesting to me. I've never obsessed over a man like that in my life. And honestly, I don't even know how people can support somebody like Trump. I mean, it's not like Trump was on Epstein's plane multiple times or went to Epstein's island. I mean, can you imagine? Can you imagine if that was true?
Some Mexicans regretting their vote for Donald Trump. They say that more than 60% of Latinos regret their votes for Trump. Please don't forget to drop a like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Help us to grow this channel. Help us to support liberal media. Subscribing to my channel, the MAGA Nuts have all the likes, the subscribes, and all the comments. So help us to support liberal media and stay towards the end because this video is going to be really interesting. We have a lot of Trump tears, MAGA tears, and also we have some things that are happening, updates, okay? They've been happening in the immigration law with the orange buffoon. So stay towards the end.
I did it. I sure did. I voted for Trump. And I'm Latina, half Mexican, half Guatemalan. And no, that does not mean that I hate Mexicans, Guatemalans, Latinos, Hispanics. That does not mean I hate immigrants, illegal immigrants. What that means is that I'm for a president that is pro-America.
The Latinos that voted for Trump because of the economy. I'm sorry, I tried. How's it going? ¿Cómo les va?
As of yesterday, ICE has resumed deportations to the country of Cuba.
Place that I go to, it's about an hour away from my house. And they're closed and I have to reschedule. I don't want to cry anymore. I'm tired of hurting. But this has affected so much of my mental health. And I don't want to be weak and cry about it, but sometimes I hold everything and this happens.
President Trump just issued this long post about reverse migration. What does this even mean? He's saying that he will permanently pause migration from all third world countries to allow the U.S. system to fully recover and terminate all of the millions of Biden illegal admissions, including those signed by Sleepy Joe Biden's auto pen, and remove anyone who is not a net asset to the United States or is incapable of loving our country. He's going to end all federal benefits and subsidies to non-citizens of our country. country, denaturalize migrants who undermine domestic tranquility, and deport any foreign national who is a public charge, security risk, or non-compatible with Western civilization. Not really sure how all of this is going to actually happen, although there are laws in place that do protect people going through certain processes and protect people through going through processes of denaturalization or reviewing their applications once a benefit has already been given. But as of now, the president seems to want to go back and look at cases of people who've come from certain countries, again, very general, broad term, third world countries. Which countries are included in that, we're not sure. And he wants to re-examine those applications to see whether or not a benefit should have been given to them. So we'll wait to see how all of this plays out.
One of my neighbors got picked up by ICE today. A Trump supporter, a Hispanic Trump supporter, got detained by ICE and was released, as he is a U.S. citizen and was able to provide documentation accordingly. However, this is causing him to question his loyalty and support for President Trump because, as he said, he didn't think these ICE raids would target people like him. I'm hearing that he didn't think the leopards would eat his face. And now that they are eating his face, he has some regrets. Let me know in the comments what you think about my neighbor and his emotional struggle to figure out where his support is now that he's been personally affected.
I've been getting some comments calling me divisive, saying, right now's not the time for finger pointing. We need to work with Latinos for Trump. Latinos for Trump already divided us when they walked into that voting booth on November 5th and made a conscious decision to sell out their family, to sell out their friends, and to sell out their entire community as a whole to ICE. And for what exactly? A pat on the head from the whites? For white proximity? For white validation? I am not the one causing the division, so don't come here and try to gaslight me. I voted to keep their families safe. I'm not the one who voted to have ICE raids on their families. Latinos for Trump are the ones who voted to have ICE raids on their own families and their own friends and their own community. A majority of Latinos foolishly gave your votes to Trump. And how did Trump thank y'all? By making it his very top priority on day one to deport as many of you, as many of us, as he possibly can. He said, get the fuck out. It doesn't matter if you're illegal or not. It doesn't matter if you're a criminal or not. He wants you out because you're not white.
Especially in Texas, there's so many Mexican Trump supporters, and that really has my mind boggled.
I'm like,
bro, I don't care what race you are. Support who you want to support.
Absolutely.
The only one that does like confuse me is when Mexicans are so hard on the border laws. Like, bro, like we didn't get here 400 years ago.
Right.
A lot of our people are just immigrated here. Like, you've been here like a generation, and you already want to close the borders. Like, bro, that's like if you just walked in the club and you're like, y'all should close now.
Right.
I'm here.
Yeah, well, that's what has to happen. I'm up here, so I'll pull the ladder out the way.
Yeah.
So that way I'm here.
What makes you so special, bro?
I get what you're saying. I totally understand.
That's why with Mexicans, when they go super Republican, that's why I'm like, that's the only time I'm confused. Everybody else, I'm like, all right, do you? I'm sure you have your reasons.
I get what you're saying.
But I see a lot of these videos of people at the rallies for Trump, and like, they're like, oh, well, they're in this country illegally, and a bunch of them are criminals. But why are they pulling up to job sites if they're looking for criminals?
Yeah.
Also, they're getting hired like by people who want them here, bro. Like, what the fuck? It's not like they just showed up like, hey, you gonna pay me, like,
right?
Or we'll kill your family. Like, if you're gonna go red, like, fine, be red. If you're gonna go, left, like, be left. But I think when you're like just shoving that out there and you swear that like Trump is the new Jesus Christ, like, shut the up.
You do realize now, if whomever you vote for, and they do something like, okay, it's like he kind of told you like what he was going to do. He wanted to have this mass deportations and he wanted to round up so forth and so on. So if you was one of that, Hispanics for Trump, and all of a sudden your family member or you get ensnared in that trap, you can't be mad and says, well, why is he doing this? Because he told you that's what he was going to do.
Yeah, I wasn't supporting Trump though. Why you coming at me like
I'm just
that?
saying, no.
Don't clip that up, Shannon. Like Shannon Sharp goes off on Ralph for voting for Trump. Like,
hell nah. But I'm saying, you see a lot of people now that's like, well, this is not what I voted for. That's exactly what you voted for.
yeah, there's a lot of that. People, people are like, why is he doing this? Like, why is he doing what he said he's gonna do?
Yeah. Do you know anyone that's been deported?
Yeah, my uncle, but he's back.
Right.
But he always gets deported.
But you know you're not supposed to say that. Somebody might watch this and then go get him again.
Man, I got like 18 uncles.
They don't know which one.
They don't know which one. Plus, he's probably hiding somewhere.
Yeah.
Citizen, American citizen. Hundreds of immigration agents descended on Charlotte, North Carolina this weekend, pulling people from shopping centers and moving in on this landscaping crew putting up Christmas lights. It's all part of the government's latest immigration enforcement action dubbed Operation Charlotte's Web. Willie Isatuno recorded this video outside a shopping center near his home. Soon after, Customs and Border Protection detained him. I said, hey, American citizen. I was on the ground, put back with the car. He showed us where he says broken glass cut his arm and told us this was the second time that same day agents approached him. Why? Just because I'm Latino. The white people, hey, ask us for my papers. No, it's specific Latinos. In a statement, Customs and Border Protection said Isatuno was acting increasingly erratic and accused him of intentionally trying to distract officers from doing their jobs.
He said he voted for Trump last year because he thought he was going to save money, lower food costs, lower gas. Now he says, I regret everything I did. He's sorry he voted for Trump.
And I don't know what happened with the Latino men. They decided to suddenly go vote for Donald Trump. They couldn't take a woman to be their president. But this had consequences for all the Latino community. Okay, we are all suffering. We are all in the same boat. The Trump administration now is able to racially profile people and the poor people just based on their race. Okay, the revise of residents, okay, the people holding green cards, and they probably don't gonna receive their green cards. Actually, the revise of naturalization, naturalized citizens, okay, they're gonna revise their citizenship. This is just a mess, and we Latinos are in the center of it. Mexicans too. This is ridiculous. How can Latinos can go and vote for Donald Trump? I don't even understand. This is something that had to be a case of psychologist. When he came down the escalator and the first thing that he said, Mexicans are rapists. It's possible some Mexicans are good people. So you voted for a person that called your whole group of people, your whole race, you guys are rapists. Maybe the percentage of population of Mexicans that are rapists, maybe it's like less than 0.03%. But according to Trump, Mexicans, 90% of Mexicans, they are all rapists, because he say some of them can be good people, some of them. Okay, so when you're just saying some of them can be good people, so you imply 90% of these people is all rapists, and then we only have 10% of people, 10% of Mexicans, they are good people. This is what we have. This is what he think. And somehow you thought that you're just gonna do better with Trump. For the Latinos that voted for Trump for the economy, ¿cómo me les va? ¿Cómo me les va? Oh my goodness, I cannot even understand these people.
Black people, what makes you think that Mexicans are gonna come running to y'all for help? What for? Y'all black people can't even help yourselves. That's wild. Mexican people are hardworking people.
I really don't think you can afford to be this racist right now, Boo Boo, with the way they are swiftly kicking you out of this country.
What makes you think that a Mexican will say, oh, okay, well, we have the blacks. Let's go to them. Come on now. Y'all don't even trust each other. What makes you think that a Mexican will trust you if you don't even trust your brother?
Okay, since you're talking about trust in our communities, I have a question for you. Was it the black community that voted to have ICE come deport your families and terrorize your community? Or was it the Latino community that voted to have ICE come and deport your own family members and terrorize your own community? So just remember that it was the black community that voted to protect your Latino families from ICE raids. Meanwhile, your Latino brothers willingly sold out your own families and your community to ICE. Latinos are hardworking people, also extremely hardworking at sticking together and getting each other deported. So clearly the black community cares more about protecting Latino families than some Latinos care about protecting their own families. Clearly. Something else that I just wanted to throw in here about the black community's role in immigration rights. Immigrants have been able to come and stay in our country because of the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965, which was part of the Civil Rights Act, which we all know was spearheaded and led by the black community. You're welcome.
How are you a Latino and a supporter for Trump? It doesn't make sense.
How?
To me, it's the same logic if a chicken was for KFC. He doesn't like you.
I just think he's a lost leader. You know what I'm saying? Like, he leads for the people that are lost.
Just a lot of the Latinos for Trump are very much assimilated, and I think they're very blind to who they actually are.
They spend so much time making you othered that you want nothing more than to be accepted.
I'm Hispanic and I vote for Mr. Trump. We vote for Mr. Trump.
I for sure feel like some of them wouldn't even want to be called Latinos.
Yeah.
Like, they generally want to be known as like they're American.
But I don't get how you can ever support somebody who doesn't even think you should exist.
How lost you gotta be, man?
But my thing is,
So what? He's your president. So what?
no, he's not.
you
Fuck him. But you came in and said you didn't vote for Trump, so now you
Are you
did.
part of the U.S.?
Am I,
Are
I
you
live
Charlie
in the U.S.,
Kirk?
yes, but I'm Mexican. I was born and raised Mexico, DACA recipient. And I'll say it proudly, I love this country, but fuck Donald Trump.
Okay, you know what the beautiful part about this is you have the right to say that. The beautiful country, you can say
Now,
whatever
if
you
it
want.
was up to him, no, he wouldn't. He wants to take that away. You know that, right? Your beautiful
Yeah, I
president wants to take that away.
Dude, that's sad that's pretty part. And don't talk about Charlie Kirk. Who cares about that guy? Was a good guy. I like Charlie Kirk. That's
He
sad
didn't
what
like you.
happened.
He didn't like you. Let me tell you, he didn't like you.
Yeah, no, he liked us. He wasn't for that. It's pretty
No,
sad that
us,
you just
us. You think you're white? Us? You think
I
you're
don't think
white?
I'm white. I'm fucking Mexican, man. I'm brown.
Right? He didn't like you.
I didn't like you.
He
That's
didn't
the
like
shitty
you
part,
being
is
brown. He didn't like you being a woman. He would not advocate for your rights. You know that, right?
Or are you part of the? Or are
The
you part of
sad
the
part is you go
LGBT
with all
community?
what the news says. That's what
No,
people
no.
like to do.
I was a
No,
Charlie
that's
Kirk
what you
follower for
said.
the last 8 years.
Oh, okay. All right.
Joey,
I know
Joey, can
more
I ask you a
about him
question?
than you do. What's
Joey,
up?
can
The
I ask you
sad
a
part is you're
question?
probably somebody that went for him.
What
I'm
else?
pretty. I hope that you weren't pro for him being killed. I really hope so.
I'm not
'cause
pro
that's
against
crazy.
no,
Not
I'm
for
not pro
anybody
for
getting killed.
anybody being killed.
That's
Good,
I'm
good. I
thorough
hope
with my
that.
beliefs. When children get unalived on a fucking almost daily basis throughout this country during the school year, yeah, I'm against that. When somebody is unalived for their political beliefs, yeah, I'm against that. But you know who wasn't against that? Charlie fucking Kirk. He would have been okay with him losing his life because he was okay with the children in Uvalde losing their lives because it was an okay price to pay for keeping our Second Amendment rights. So kindly, Erica, fuck Charlie Kirk and his beliefs.
Hey, so let me get this straight, man. You wanted ICE to deport the criminals, but they came for your husband instead? Holy shit, dude. Talk about regretting your vote, man. Now, this woman says she fully believed only criminals were getting detained. Meanwhile, ICE said bet and packed up her baby daddy like leftovers at a Thanksgiving dinner table. Now she's 7 months pregnant, y'all. And guess who ain't gonna be there at the baby shower? Ma'am, you supported this bullshit. What in the hell did you think was gonna happen? You supported Trump, to deport the criminals. And now your husband's on a no-fly list? Your kids have no father to come home to? All thanks to your vote? Cry me a river, lady.
Well, it looks like the ICE agents have been getting caught in their own trap. Let's talk about it. Have you guys noticed that the ICE agents have been getting caught in multiple scams lately? It amazes me how one individual that know that they are dirtier than dirt and they'll go and attack another individual just because this one man told them to do it this type of way. I could never treat a human being the way ICE have been treating human beings. And I heard they're here in Michigan. I pray to God I never have to encounter them. Take a look at this, as one ICE agent just got caught.
This one shames. This is a tragedy in many respects, but people at the Department of Homeland Security, I know there are great people there that come to work every single day and do their jobs and do it admirably. Unfortunately, Mr. recently married back here is not one of those people.
As you can see, they're the dirtiest of the dirty. I even seen one on Instagram today, and as a matter of fact, they were Spanish-speaking individuals trying to take down another Spanish-speaking individual. Like, what? Are you serious? But what I did when I dug down that rabbit hole and I looked up the qualification, this man is pulling up anybody that want a job. You can get a job with ICE. But how can you stoop that low? And he's paying damn good money. He's paying damn good money and giving sign-on bonuses and everything. But how can you bring yourself to stoop that damn low? Drop down in the comments how you feel on the video you just saw when the ICE agent got caught trying to solicit a minor. Sad but true. Don't forget to like, share, and follow me for more controversial topics.
Payment of a U.S. citizen.
I don't deserve to be here.
Montero says became a citizen back in 2020. Once again, Boston 25 has reached out to ICE. ICE said they were looking into this more.
We have some big news right now. ICE detained an American citizen in Northern Virginia who voted for Donald Trump, who is now reconsidering his support for Donald Trump after experiencing the immigration system firsthand. According to NBC Washington, a naturalized Hispanic man was detained by ICE. They were looking for another person on a deportation order, but he previously voted for Donald Trump. His name is Genzi Machado, and he even provided News 4 with documentation of his legal status. Folks, this is one of the craziest stories you'll hear. He said he was uncuffed and immediately released after being detained for a period of time after showing his driver's license. But now he is reconsidering his support for Donald Trump. He said, quote, "I voted for Trump last election, but because I thought it was going to be the things, like just go against criminals, not every Hispanic looking like that, they will assume that we are all illegals." Spread the word. I'll do a full breakdown of this story on my Substack, linked in my bio, so be sure to subscribe for free. As always, comment below your thoughts, spread the word, and follow along to stay up to date on all the news you need to know about.
I'm out of there.
What? Deported. You got Africans that are getting deported back to the Congo. You got Brazilians getting deported. Mexico's just close right here to America. If Africa was close to America, Africa would be used to get across the border too. Like, that's a fucked up way to think about it. You got people out here that are brainwashed thinking it's just Mexicans that are here in the United States illegally. No, bro, you got people from Nigeria, all kinds of places. You can't just do that. That's a messed up mindset, you feel me? You got people out here really brainwashed about that. It's people from all kinds of different backgrounds. You know what I'm saying? So that's just crazy to me. But The media is tripping, but Mexico's close to us. You know what I'm saying? Mexico's right next to America. That's the only reason why they get, most of the shade thrown at them. It's not just Mexicans that are getting deported. You got Africans that are getting deported back to the Congo. You got Brazilians getting deported. Mexico's just close right here to America. If Africa was close to America, Africa would be used to get across the border too. Like, that's a fucked up way to think about it. You got people out here that are brainwashed thinking it's just Mexicans.
The United States isn't the only country that's deporting Latinos. Mexico is also deporting Latinos, thousands a week, and the living conditions are horrific. Check this out.
Mexico cracks down heavily on undocumented migration. Camps around the capital here have been removed, this being one of the last remaining.
Ya quedó así, no vino migración, no vino nadie a decir nada.
De aquí se han ido con varias personas, se han ido muchos ya. El de aquí de este ranchito aquí ya se fue ya el miércoles pasado.
So many migrants.
Now, if the United States had undocumented immigrants living like this in sheds, there would be an outrage, an outcry. But I guess this type of information they want to suppress from the public because it took me hours to find this information. And it's wild because the U.S. have undocumented immigrants living better than U.S. vets that's homeless. The United States isn't the only country that's deporting.
Why is every ICE raid going after Mexicanos? What happened to the Somalias, the Haitians, the Afghanistan, the military-aged Chinese that came through here? Where's those arrests? Every piece of content I see is Mexicans getting arrested. Stop going after the Mexicanos. Those are our neighbors, our familia. Those are our friends, guys. They help build this country. They have family, businesses here. We got people that have been here for 10, 15 years have been deported with no criminal record. What are they going home to? This is their home. Stop going after the Mexicanos. That's our family. Bro, why is every ICE raid going after Mexicanos? What happened to the Somalias, the Haitians, the Afghanistan, the military-aged Chinese that came through here? Where's those arrests? Every piece of content I see is Mexicans getting arrested. Stop.
He voted for Trump thinking, as he says, that the Trump administration was going to be better for our economy. The problem is, he's a business owner. He owns a detail shop. And 100% of his clientele are Latinos. Latinos are the ones affected by this administration, whom he voted for. Classic FAFO. Because he voted Trump thinking that Trump was going to save somehow with a magic wand the economy. But his clientele is primarily Latino. How are you going to vote for Trump knowing that Trump is going to come after your whole clientele? So now he comes to TikTok with sobbing eyes saying that with a heavy heart, he's going to shut down his business because no Latinos are bringing their vehicles to get them detailed because they can't get out of their house afraid that ICE is going to come get them. My question is, did you think this through, sir? Did you think this through? You're a business owner. 100% of your clientele is Latino, and you're going to vote.
Did you guys see that we are now fighting with Mexico over part of Matamoros, Mexico? I don't know whether you saw this or not, but what happened yesterday is that 4 people from the United States came over to the Mexico side of the Rio Grande in boats, and they installed some signs. What type of signs, you ask? Let me show you. These signs right here, they're written in English and in Spanish. They were placed by the United States. The text in the sign itself makes it difficult to know whether it was U.S. or whether it was Mexico because it doesn't say United States, it doesn't say Mexico, it just says by the authority of the commander, but it doesn't say what commander, of what, of who. However, the U.S. has acknowledged that they did place these signs because they believe that that land on which the signs are placed belongs to the United States and is covered by the Department of Defense. Mexico, however, disagrees and says, no, this is land belonging to Mexico, and it is specifically part of Matamoros, Mexico. So they are very upset with the U.S. right now. They're arguing back and forth. There are people saying that the U.S. has violated international law by not clearly demarcating the borders of the river. Other people are saying that the river has changed course, which changes its boundaries, which then changes the ownership. So I don't know how this is all going to shake out, but what I do know is that this sign essentially says you can't be on the property without authorization, you can't photograph anybody there subject to search, you can't draw it, you can't map it, you can't depict it, you can't photograph or video it. So I don't know what they plan to do with this land, but what I do know is Matamoros is on one side of the Rio Grande where this is, I believe it's called Baghdad or Lake Baghdad, something like that, right at Matamoros. On the other side, on the U.S. Texas side, is Boca Chica, which happens to be where SpaceX is. SpaceX, of course, is involved with NASA, and so that might explain why the Department of Defense or the Air Force, whoever has claimed this land, has done so. In any event, Mexico's unhappy. They say this belongs to them. They are already upset with Mr. Trump for the renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, which they do not honor, they do not authorize, they do not accept, they do not acknowledge that. In addition, they're upset with Mr. Trump because he has essentially told them that he will use whatever means necessary to secure the southern border, and that includes strikes on Mexican citizens or nationals if that becomes necessary, just like he's done with the boats on the outside of Venezuela. We're already in hot water with Venezuela over that, and that's a whole nother story for another day, but we see a pattern here. And whether you love Donald or whether you hate Donald, what we know about him is that he will fuck around and find out. He will have us in some sort of a conflict with Mexico, and anybody else for that matter. SpaceX, by the way, Mexico is also upset with SpaceX because there have been a couple of failed rocket launches. I think one exploded. They are still finding bits and pieces of that failed rocket launch or that explosion on their side of the river. So they're still finding plastic, they're finding metal, they're finding all sorts of things that are associated with that on their side of the country, and they're not happy with that. In addition, they're looking at right now whether there's been contamination into the Rio Grande by SpaceX or others, knowingly or otherwise, intentional or otherwise, that is causing issues within the river itself. So there's a lot going on around SpaceX and around Matamoros and Boca Chica. We will have to watch this very closely. What I can tell you for certain is that the signs were placed. People thought maybe those folks were from SpaceX, trying to prevent people from getting into SpaceX. However, the Mexican government confirmed that that land does in fact belong to Mexico, and they sent their staff out to remove those signs. So those signs were removed by the Mexican government. So the signs were placed by the U.S. government, removed by the Mexican government. I don't know what's going to happen here, but I know that it's starting to heat up a little bit. I think we're at simmer right now. So we'll have to see what comes of this.
Karma for Donald Trump. Donald Trump's plans were just stopped dead in their tracks by the Mexican president, Claudia Sheinbaum. Let me explain. Donald Trump, on his social media accounts and on the official White House social media accounts, has been bragging about using U.S. military planes to send immigrants back to Mexico. Well, following all of Donald Trump's threats to the Mexican government, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum decided, no way, not gonna happen. Mexico on Thursday denied Donald Trump's attempt to send a U.S. military jet into the country. Two U.S. Defense Department officials and one other person familiar with what happened have confirmed this to be true. Planes were two Air Force C-17 jets that were bound for Guatemala. Each plane was carrying about 80 deportees. This, of course, all comes as tensions are rising between Mexico and the United States due to Donald Trump's threats towards Mexico. Mexico had become a reliable ally, especially during the Biden administration, helping the U.S. with things such as this. But that's all changed now that Donald Trump has taken a threatening posture towards...
Announced a terrifying plan to deport natural-born U.S. citizens to El Salvador. On Sunday, a reporter questioned Trump about the president of El Salvador's offer to house American prisoners, to which Trump replied that he, quote, loves the idea of deporting Americans to El Salvador. Following his comments, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt confirmed that Trump is in fact looking into legal avenues to deport U.S. citizens. Supreme Court Justice Sotomayor issued a response saying, quote, not only non-citizens, but also United States citizens could be taken off the streets, forced onto planes, and confined to foreign prisons with no opportunity for redress. It shouldn't matter whether you're on the left or the right. This should send chills down the spine of every single American. Allowing U.S. citizens to be deported to a foreign country would mark the total collapse of our constitutional protections. Protests could be criminalized, political enemies could be arrested, and marginalized communities would almost...
And we just made it towards the end of this video. Please don't forget to drop a like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Yes, this situation of ICE not only deporting Mexicans, not only racially profiling people on the streets, also USA citizens that are getting deported. If you look Mexican, okay, if you don't look, because if you are, maybe you look black, you maybe can pass by USA citizen. If you may look white, you are white passing Mexican, you may don't have that problem. But if you look really Mexican, then you have a problem. And the thing is, you voted for this, you chose to have this problem in your hand. It didn't need it to be this way. It didn't need it to be this way. We could have just voted for the wonderful, well-prepared black woman and would have a different, totally different outcome than what we having right now. So guys, thank you. You guys are the best subscribers on the planet, and I just wanted to say thank you to the people that always send me the cash apps, the Venmo, the super thanks. I'm just so grateful for you. You guys are the best subscribers on the planet. You make me feel so good and so appreciated. I'm like a kid in the candy store every time when I get a Venmo, when I get a cash app. And you know, someone sent me a cash app. This is not like a really expensive jacket, but someone sent me a cash app. It was like a $20 cash app, and I bought this jacket. So I wanted to say thank you to you. I use it for coffee most of the time because the editing on this video, it takes forever sometimes. But sometimes I do buy some clothes, some pieces of clothes. So I just wanted to just get this jacket. I just don't even have a bra today, because I just wake up and I just decided to start recording videos, so I don't even have a bra or anything. I just got like a I just wake up, this is what I just put makeup on, and I just put a jacket on myself, and I just started to record. So thank you guys.